Hey everyone, today we have a really good, a really applicable to your everyday life lesson that we're going to get into in a second here. But before I start talking about that, I wanted to go ahead and address some information that the governor um, talked about yesterday. And that is that it is official now. We do not have school um, outside of distance learning um, at all for the remainder of this school year. I mean, I think a lot of people probably saw this coming, so maybe this isn't necessarily shocking information. Um, so I just want to say, first of all, that I'm really sorry that that the situation came to this, especially, um, I know some of you guys are seniors, and, I couldn't imagine if my high school senior year, ended up like this. So I just wanted to say, um, I really feel for you guys, and this situation's, terrible. Now, if you have any questions or anything like that, you can go ahead and contact me or Mrs. Zank or really any of your teachers. Um, we're here for that. I'm going to say right off the bat right now, I don't know a ton about the situation. We just got an email from the superintendent kind of talking about it today. So it's definitely like a work in progress type of thing. But yeah, obviously they deemed it um, too unsafe to go ahead and reopen schools. Or the chances of causing more outbreaks are too threatening. So so that's a little bit about that. Kind of a depressing way to start out your lesson here. But without further ado, credit cards and car loans. Like I said, really applicable information thing. So this is part of the reason why I really like this class because we learn about stuff um, that you're really going to be able to take with you for the rest of your life. So um, that's the lesson objective. We'll learn about using credit cards and getting car loans. Um, Part of the reason why we decided to put these lessons together is because they really are very intertwined because of something called credit, which I'm assuming you guys have heard of. And I'm not going to go into super big detail about it. Um, but essentially, credit is how good you are uh, at paying your credit card or at paying a loan. So when you get a credit card, um, you'll get something with it called credit or a credit score, credit rating. If I was probably heard all of those above. I know there's a ton of different commercials about like, oh, like look at come to this website to get your free credit score, whatever. That's what they're talking about. And all that means is it's a score. It's basically like a grade of how good you are at paying back money on loans and on your credit card and on whatever. Banks look at that because it tells them how dependable you are and essentially how trustworthy you are. So if you have a bad credit score, um, you might you're not going to be able to get as many loans offered to you, and the loans you do get offered to you are going to be more expensive. They're going to have a much higher interest rate. They're going to cost you more, and it's just not going to be good. Um, and that really, and you might be thinking like, well, like, whatever, like I'm just not going to take out any loans. Um, that's hard to do when you need to make big important purchases, like a car, which is part of the thing we're going over, like a car, but also, and that's why I think these things are really applicable. Um, like a car or like a house or like, um, student loans, those sort of bigger things, a lot of times you need loans for, and those enable you to make those big purchases, and then be financially stable. So you can be a lot more financially stable if you're able to like buy a car. I'll focus on cars because that's what your your worksheet is on. Um, that's pretty much what I talked about. Buy a car and and be able to afford it basically, and be able to make the payments on time. And then you'll eventually end up owning that car, and then you'll be able to sell it, or even though the car's not the best example because cars usually lose value. So really that's a lot more applicable to like a house. If you pay a mortgage on it and you pay it back consistently, and you pay that loan off, then bam, you'll be able to make money off of it. Um, so yeah, this lets you afford houses, cars, and other expensive things. So I should probably. So here's the worksheet. You have only 16 questions for the car loan one, and then you have. This is my email, by the way. What your credit card stuff? Um, I'm right here, and you have 20 questions for that. You have all week to do it. Email me if you have any questions about the worksheets or about the fact that the schools aren't reopening this year. Okay, so that's all you have to do. Good luck.